Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Football, where Soccertown USA comes to you, brought to you by Elliott Media and shot on location at the Matt Gadsden Community Center here in Dalton. And we'd like to thank all of our sponsors that make this possible. One, just me and you, just like it's old school again. Diego got called emergency meeting by the dean, you know.
But you know what? Diego's met his quota of shows this year.
He's the champion.
Compared to our previous 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, he's rivaling one Roy Alvaron.
Yeah. Well, he just needs to do another season. He will have surpassed the.
That's right. I think we've got our hooks in him now. I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, I don't think he is either. But let's get ready to go over to the OptiLink scoreboard. There were some changes from games that were scheduled earlier in the week, but we are going to go down these.
And these coaches love these scheduling changes.
Yeah, so on Monday, we had Cahulla Creek girls with they lost 1-0 to Fort Payne. Christian Heritage boys losing to CSTHEA 4-2. On Tuesday, we had a plethora of games. We had Murray County girls winning 4-1 over Ridgeland, boys winning 1-0 over Ridgeland. Dalton Academy, both boys and girls, the girls losing 9-0 to Tryon, and the boys losing 4-0. Dalton beating Northwest, girls 4-3. Dalton boys 2-0. Pickens County beating North Murray girls 9-0. North Murray boys beating Pickens 2-1. Cherokee Southeast beating Southeast girls losing to Cherokee 1-0, and then the boys winning 3-1. And then Todd, we had some games on Thursday and Friday.
Thursday.
Sorry. Well, there's only two.
Yeah. I'll take that one. Thursday got some canceled games there. Cahulla Creek losing to Darlington on the girls' side 4-1, and then Northwest losing to River Ridge 4-1.
And then on Friday,
Fannin 5, Christian Heritage 0 on the girls. Dalton 10, Murray 0 on the girls. Let's see, we have 3-2, Dalton Academy going down, and then Southeast 9, Dalton Academy 0 on the boys. We'll have a little bit from that later. And then Fannin County boys 5, Christian Heritage 0.
Hey, look, one thing I'm looking at there, Dalton Academy, girls side, they've had a tough season. You know, they're still working on building that program, but they got some 2 goals. They kept it 3-2. So I think, that in itself should be.
Baby steps.
It's like a little win.
And Southeast girls did play. I think they played Stars Mill.
They played Stars Mill, yeah.
And they lost 1-0 on that one.
On Saturday.
Which that was a touch base with Coach Close, and he said it was a little bit of a makeshift roster on both sides. So, but they got the game in. Doesn't sound like there were any injuries or anything, which I'm sure that's more important than anything at this point, since it is El Clasico week.
Yeah, but Diego's not here to
I know, start the hype train. This chord's driving me crazy tonight.
So, Diego, he's the big Southeast fan. We'll see how it is. It's going to be played on Thursday. School will be out for most of the area on Friday due to Good Friday. So, we will.
So that's why we're playing on Thursday.
Yeah,
I got to look at the calendar.
And this is the last week of the regular season. So right now, I looked at it. You can go to our Facebook page. Currently, out of the 16 teams, both boys and girls, we have 10 that are qualified that I looked at. There's a couple of matches that Murray County's got 2 region games, so it depends how they go there. They could squeak themselves in.
I think they're going to get in. I was kind of maybe, but I think they will.
And like I said, those the region rankings and all that's all on our Facebook page if you haven't looked at that. But with that, we're getting ready to go to a commercial break, and when we come back,
big interview.
I'm gonna love it because he's the other team that Todd don't like to say the name of, but he will probably be forced to say it today. But we will have a special guest here after we come back from commercial break.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Giubo with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Biltwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our park.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And as we mentioned, we have a special guest. We replaced Diego with the one, the only Omar Hernandez, who plays with
Chattanooga Red Wolves. Hey, and this is an upgrade. I mean, I hate to tell Diego, but we upgraded a little bit.
We did upgrade.
We love you, brother, but, you're not here today. So
those of you all that are
not
not familiar with Omar, Omar Hernandez is from Dalton. We're going to get in with him a little bit more. He is a Dalton product from Dalton, Georgia, played on the streets here, played at the cages and ran all that stuff, went to Dalton High, played a little bit with Atlanta United senior year, came back and won a state championship with senior year. He wanted to come out and do that. But also we just had the local legend, remember the unveiling of the mini pitch. Omar Hernandez was our local legend. Which was recognized by Atlanta United, and I think there's some things that they did with you there, which we can probably discuss here shortly. But all right, I mean, Todd, where do we go with this? Let's
I don't know. I mean, let's start at the beginning. Like, you are a Dalton product. I mean, tell us a little bit about growing up here in Dalton, like brothers, sisters, that sort of thing.
I'm the youngest of three. I have an older brother and older sister. Everybody in my family played soccer, so it kind of just fell right in, and the puzzle was there.
Now, if we asked them, would they call you the baby?
Yeah, I'm the baby.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
And the funny thing is, he says his family plays soccer, but there's like multiple. There's one whole side of the family that's all baseball players. Mm-hmm. They're from the town. They're from Zacatecas, and they're his parents or his dad. I think his mom as well, but I know his dad. They're all from a town called.
Where are they from, man? You can tell us.
Jalpa. Mm-hmm. So Jalpa, Zacatecas. My cousin, I spent a summer there, so I know exactly where it's at. Right. But they have baseball fields. They didn't have soccer fields when I was there, so it's very interesting when you hear this guy. That
well, good. That'll help where we're going next. I mean, I'll let you finish talking about your family, but that'll help.
Yeah, I mean, both my parents played soccer. My mom was more of a volleyball player, but I mean, the athleticism was there, so it kind of fell right into me. I lived right behind the park. So
which park?
Lakeshore Park.
Oh, okay.
So growing up was easy, and can't complain. Walk down the street, play soccer all day, and then just come back home and do the same thing.
Were you playing with Harrison a lot then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
he
you
was
guys
actually
just
my
meet
neighbor,
up and walk down the street. Okay.
So was there ever a time where you had to make a decision, like I'm going to play baseball or I'm going to play soccer, or did you always know it was soccer?
I always knew it was soccer growing up. That's kind of the main sport my dad played. He did play a little bit of baseball here and there. I tried playing baseball, got hit once, and then I just said it was not for me. So, yeah, so I just stuck with soccer ever since.
No, you say you got hit. Did you get hit by a pitch?
No, it's kind of like a ground ball, and it just popped right into me, hit me right in the chest, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do this again.
That tends to happen. But you know what? Baseball loss was Dalton's gain in soccer, so let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But really quick, so we've talked a little about your family, and everything. So what was your first experience within soccer? Did you play? I know obviously you grew up playing some club ball, which you know that. Did you play with the Dalton rec department any, or was it just strictly club ball and then the high school?
So the rec department didn't start till I was in middle school.
Okay.
So I did play there, but before that, I think it was called the St. Joseph League.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the San Jose.
Yeah, so that's where I grew up playing. Yeah.
Even I played in the San Jose League. Wasn't that the Saturday League?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I played over there one season. Yes. That's right.
Yeah, so I did that growing up, and then once the rec department started, I did play there and played all the way till high school.
Okay, look, so he's a local legend for the Dalton Rec Department as well.
I think so. I want everybody to pay attention, because as we go through his story here, you'll notice I feel like you have played at every possible level in every possible segment, all the way up to a pro, like the college, the high school, the middle school, the rec, the club. I feel like when we get through talking about it, you'll realize that this has been quite a journey for you to get to this point.
Well, that's a good segue, Todd. I mean, it leads right into your next question you have there about club ball there.
Yeah, so what age did you start actually playing official club? All the kids have the option to play club ball now.
Right.
I mean, almost a parent can put their kid in club ball at 3 years old if they want to. When did you start playing that level?
I officially joined club ball when I was 15, so a freshman in high school.
Okay.
So I was a little bit later than what normal or the standard is now. But every once in a while, here and there, like we would get the best players in Dalton, try to make a club team, or so-called, and then just go join tournaments out in Atlanta and Tennessee.
Just make up a name for the weekend and roll with it?
Pretty much, and see what we can do, see how far we can play, and see if we can match the other talents that was around the area.
So do you think coming in at 15, just kind of talking now, do you feel like that was late, or do you feel like that's actually just about right? Do you think that we're rushing kids into club ball too early in some cases, or do you think they absolutely have to be in club ball if they're going to make it to the next level at 6 years old?
I don't think you have to play club ball or like start early, start late to be able to be recognized. At least from my perspective, I think it was the perfect time because I was able to enjoy playing with my friends, growing up with them, stuff like that. But I knew going to club ball, it gives you a better opportunity to be seen at these showcases, these tournaments where college coaches come and see you play. So I guess it doesn't really matter up till, I guess, middle school, high school, I would say. Yeah. So when you're young, enjoy your youth, I would say.
Do you
play
think
with your friends.
That not playing in that kind of structured environment allowed you to develop in some ways that you may not have had you been in a strict club environment, like being out on the street, playing in the cages, learning that sort of street ball side of it?
Well, yeah. You can see both ways. It has its pros and cons, but I loved playing with my friends. Like you said, that street ball, being able to have that freedom, not so much of a structural, say, and kind of robotic way that you want to play because you have to play specific styles and stuff like that. But having that freedom allowed me to grow as a player and just as a person as well.
And that's really interesting. We'll get back into more of that because, he said it, robotic.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest dilemma
We've had this discussion on the show.
With the U.S. setup, there's a lot of club ball. It's a lot of robots. It's just like go here, go there. It's not like the thinking like it growing up on the streets. But he brought it up, so I just wanted to touch on that. But with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more with Omar Hernandez.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh, yes, you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Hey, and welcome back to Monday Night Football. We are joined by Chattanooga Roadwolves player and Dalton local legend, Omar Hernandez, and we're just going to press on with this interview.
Really quick. So you mentioned that your first team was club ball. So what club teams did you play with during your high school during high school?
So I joined Chattanooga Football Club.
Got him to say it. We're even now.
Yeah, I did play their academy, and then my senior year, I got the opportunity to join Atlanta United.
And how did that go? Like, how was that experience?
How does that even happen?
So 2016 was the first year, I guess you could say, Atlanta United was becoming a thing, and they had trials. So I went to the trials, did pretty well, but I guess was not good enough to actually make the team that year. Mm-hmm. But here and there, I would get contacted by one of the coaches and be like, hey, do you want to come train with us every summer? Mm-hmm. So I would go out there, train every summer. Never got the opportunity to officially join, but 2018 summer.
Yeah, summer of your senior year. Yeah,
2018 summer year, had the opportunity to join. I felt like for me, that was probably the best time to join to see if I can officially make either the second team or the first team. So had a great opportunity, great experience, and I enjoyed it.
How obviously you did it, you had a great experience, But it's a sacrifice because you're having to transport yourself, and that's the part that people don't know. You're having to transport yourself down there, what was it, 3 days, 5 days out of the week?
3 if I was lucky, but it was, I'd say probably 4 to 5 days out of the week.
So they send a valet up here with a limo and pick you up. Like,
I wish.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a real sacrifice for you to do that. And we've had some other local players do that, and I want people to understand like what a sacrifice that is, not only on the player but the families, and it's hard to go down there and make that happen.
Yeah, I mean it's an hour and a half drive every day. So you're driving 3 hours a day back and forth. Sometimes I would do it by myself. There'd be times where my dad would come out of work early and make that sacrifice to take me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And that's crazy, man, that, just a sacrifice. So roll into that. You played your a little bit of your senior year with Atlanta United. So give us your high school experience from freshman all the way up through your senior year.
Wow. I loved my high school experience.
And what high school did you go to, just in case people don't know?
Dawn High School. I enjoyed it. I mean, the group of guys there, the morale, the chemistry, the connection was just unbreakable, and one that I guess you can't compare to none.
Because you had a pretty stacked, your class was, you had.
Nah, there wasn't nobody else on that team.
No, you had, I think it was Harrison with you, Tony
Frere,
Saldana,
Ivan Mora, Christian Cordova, a bunch of other guys that.
Goalie was Aaron Frere.
Aaron Frere, yeah.
Jeez.
We had a stacked squad, and it was a little bit unfortunate those previous years, but finally that senior year we were able to make it.
So
that was the state champion. Your senior year was a state championship year.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. No, that is a stacked squad, and like you think about all those players. Is there a player that you looked up to, say when you were in middle school, that you looked at on that high school team, and you were like, wow, that dude? If I can ever just walk in his shoes for a minute, like that's who I want to be.
2 players to be exact. Kobe Perez and Eder Mora.
Oh.
And
good choices.
Kobe Perez was just phenomenal soccer player. Can dribble out of anything. Can say he was basically like Messi. He can do everything.
And he didn't tie his shoelaces, did he?
No, never.
He pulled a Maradona.
Yep.
Wow.
And then Eder Mora, because of his work ethic, you could see the grind he put, whether that was in football, whether that's in soccer. He was always there. First one in, last one out, making sure everybody was doing the right things and the little things.
And look at that. He stated 2 people that went D1. So let's just.
Well, not only that, think about the 2 people, like one was cited for creativity, and the other cited for work ethic. And that's actually, that's awesome.
If you go back and look at those squads, Kobe was the creative guy pushing. Eder was staying back. He could be creative if he wanted to, but he knew, like, let Kobe do all that, and I'm just going to stay back and just, and he was a very stout. Eder was very stout. I don't know if you look at him now, he's
a big guy now.
He's a big guy. So
gotta be careful how we describe people on the show. It's like, he's like, I don't want to say that. Let's see here. Okay, so you were 2-time Georgia Player of the Year, and you were National Gatorade Player of the Year. Gatorade comes down. They even make a commercial with you in it.
Right.
What was that experience like? I mean, that is even surreal to even just say out loud that happened to you. What was that like, and how did that change life for you? And had you already committed to a college at that time?
I mean, just like you said, it was surreal. What an experience to be part of. I was already committed to Wake Forest before then. But just being able to create a commercial, being able to go to the ESPYs, fly out to LA, that's an experience that, I could never have again, but it was an amazing and cool experience because I was able to go with my mom.
Yeah. Did you meet anybody at the ESPYs that was just like?
I met Peyton Manning, Karl Anthony Towns, Nick Chubb.
Not bad.
A bunch of other people, and then
way to be PC too. You mentioned Duvall and a Georgia player. Good job.
Yeah. And then when I was at the ESPYs down the red carpet, I mean, Dwayne Johnson, Odell Beckham when he was at his prime at the time.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, a bunch of other people, but
just brushing elbows with the who's who of athletic celebrities at the time.
Yeah, pretty much. It was such an amazing experience.
So, do you think did your recruiting process start? When did it start for you?
My end of my sophomore year, going to my junior year.
Okay.
That's when the help of Danny McBride, my club coach at the time, he had several connections, and then he also saw an opportunity in me. He noticed that I had the talent and was willing to do everything and risk it all to be able to put my name out there. So he was the one that making videos, sending emails, making sure coaches were at these events at showcases, competitions and whatnot. Just making sure, not just for me, but everybody else on the team that to be able to be seen. It's a small club going against bigger clubs. Just having that opportunity to be able to play at the next level.
All right, guys, I just want you to stay with us. We're going to come back in the next segment. We're going to pick up where we left off. Stay with us.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota.
We'll take a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing.
Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching.
All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some listeners gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say?
We say, oh yes, we can.
That's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football, and here we are with another segment of Omar Hernandez. Omar, we were just talking about you going to Wake Forest and all that, and obviously that then eventually transitioned you going to Mercer, and then obviously then signing a pro contract with the Chattanooga Red Wolves. So Todd, so I'm gonna let you ask this question because you're the nerd of all this. So go ahead.
Whoa. Wow, now I'm a nerd. All right, good deal. Well, actually, I want to go back to the last segment because I don't know if you got a chance to finish up about like your recruiting process and it starting between your sophomore and junior year, and Danny McBride sending stuff out, and that's a crazy thing for people to hear, I think, because I think you reviewed that you were on an absolute top level player, D1 talent, but you're still having to push things out to college coaches to get attention. We talk to players around here all the time, and I'm like, have you sent out film? And they're like, no. I'm like, these guys are not going to come find you, and do you think that that's still an absolute, like, if you want to go to a school somewhere, you need to be pushing material out to them?
Yes. There's millions of kids that they could go out and recruit, you got to prove to yourself why you are the one that they should recruit.
Right.
So you just got to be constantly sending emails, make a highlight video, send them your schedule, whether that's high school ball or club ball, and then just try to keep up with them, make sure, try to create a connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they say do come out and support you or come and watch you, introduce yourself. Obviously, you got to ball out, but
sure. That's a given, right?
Yeah, it's a given, but make sure you stay in contact before and after as well.
And Juan was wanting me to ask, and this was a question I had. We've had local players around here have the opportunity, and I know this is going to vary wildly by case, but when you were a senior in high school, and let's say you just graduated, if you would have had the opportunity to go to USL1, MLS Next Pro, or go to college, do you think you still would make the same decision now? Do you think that you would be like, 4 years at Wake, a year at Mercer?
Yeah, I'd still definitely choose the college route.
Okay.
I think for me, getting a degree is a no-brainer. I mean, soccer.
Not just from anywhere. You got a degree from Wake.
Yeah. Well, just getting a degree in general, being a first gen for my family, that was the biggest thing for me. Being able to graduate, not just for myself, but for them, all the sacrifice they made for me.
Now he's hitting us in the fields, man.
Yeah, but I think soccer's not going to be there forever, You could have a great career at 5-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to have a longevity career like Messi and Cristiano, which are about 25 plus. So the normal soccer player plays 10 years probably max.
Yeah.
So it's not always going to be there. Whether you reach the highest level and can make millions and millions of money, you always got to rely on something else.
Sure.
That's very thoughtful and insightful. So really, that leads in right to our next question. Like, so if you would give someone one piece of advice on making a decision to go pro early, UPSL, or college, what would be your advice? Because obviously it's going to be different for everyone. You wanted to get that degree, but we also know for some it's about the money. But what would be your advice to someone?
If you have the opportunity to go pro, make sure it's a strict guideline to what they want you to do. There's different steps that clubs have for you, and then make sure they align with you as well. But for me, I'd say go to college, get your degree. If you get a full ride or you're getting partial, I mean, you're still getting somewhat paid off of it having that degree as a background helps in the long run.
And really quick about college, because you're the best player coming out of Dalton going to college, but when you go to college, everyone that you're playing with is the best of wherever they came from.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of kids come back after maybe 6 months or a year. What is your advice to them, like to try to stick it out even longer?
Did you start your freshman year?
I did not start my freshman year, but I did come off the bench.
Okay.
I was the second or third option, I think. But that transition from high school to college, yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean,
sure.
Playing at Wake Forest, playing at the ACC, I mean, you're going to get top talent everywhere. You just got to push yourself, You got to be able to make sure you help them, but, you got to compete for yourself. Train every day. There's a reason why you're there, and there's a reason why they recruited you there. So don't just give up just because it can be hard for a period of time.
Sure.
You got to push through that wall, and eventually it does work out for itself.
Was that the first time you ever had to sit the bench that you can remember?
Yeah, for a while. It's been a while since I sat the bench.
Was that a difficult thing to get over?
It wasn't so hard mentally, just because I knew, high school player.
Yeah.
Gator Player of the Year, but they're recruiting MLS Next players, MLS Academy players. I knew they were just at my level or just a bit better than me, so I knew being able to compete with them is going to take my game to another level.
And that leads into the next question right here. Like, what would you say the biggest jump? Was it from high school to college or from college to the pros?
High school to college, definitely.
The pace of play?
Pace of play, yes, correct. High school, you can kind of weave and go through things, but in college, that pace of play it's different. You got to pick it up quick.
Especially at the ACC level.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. Hey, do yourself a favor. If you ever think, I know what college ball's about, like flip over to the ACC network and watch yourself a D1 game, and you'll see what a physical game is.
Yeah, the ACC level is probably at the top. There's other leagues now, such as
Big 12's pretty strong.
Big 12's pretty strong. Big East is getting up there.
But ACC's always been there.
But I think the ACC has been there for quite a while, and just like I said, those MLS Academy players, they already have that experience playing second team, playing or training with the first team. They have that experience, so that pace of play, it's going to take a big effect.
And Todd, really quick, see if you can round up two questions.
I'll tell you what. Are we good to go like another minute longer?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. So tell us about a couple of Wednesday nights ago. You're up in Chattanooga. You got on a red uniform. Yeah. There's a wall of blue to your right.
Right behind me.
Right behind you. You played for that academy. You've now come back, and you're sitting on top of a free kick. What's going through your mind?
Well, first off, I guess I could say it was good to be back in that stadium. I had the great opportunity to play for that club. So, there's no, bad blood from me, at least, They gave me the opportunity and stuff. But taking that free kick, I got to do what I got to do,
Yeah.
I have to score for the team that I'm playing, that I'm representing.
They're paying you, right?
Yeah, you better do it.
The team that gave me the opportunity to sign pro. So for me, scoring that goal, I was going to celebrate, but I also knew, I can't do too much.
Yeah.
Because of the opportunity that this other club gave to me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I just, to me, it was one of those things like you're there in front of your friends, your family, your community, in front of probably, I imagine, one of the biggest crowds you've ever been in front of, if I had to guess. I imagine there were some big ones at Wake.
At Wake, there was about Wake against Clemson.
Yeah, those are big ones.
5,000-6,000, but this was, double of that? So that crowd was amazing.
Well, it was certainly a surreal experience for myself and for Juan and all the local people to have you step up to that free kick and just bury it. Did you know it was in when it left your foot?
Yeah. I just kind of felt like I made great contact. You could, if you see the video, like probably like 5-10 feet before the ball goes in, I'm already kind of like
you're running over
to celebrate. I kind of saw it was going in because I could tell the goalie got stuck. He couldn't see it over the wall, especially how low I kicked it. So I was already celebrating.
It was a beauty.
Early.
Let's roll that right now. We'll watch that free kick, and you can see him just that beautiful curler right into the corner there. The keeper's just frozen his tracks. I too was frozen my tracks. That shot sent a dagger right through my heart. But I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. You've been a great ambassador not only for the sport but for the community, and it's been an honor to have you on the show. Juan?
That's it, man. And we thank you for showing up. And like I said, we everybody, if you see Omar, say hey to him. He's always out here in the community. So we really do thank him a lot. So with that, we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit of high school soccer.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football. Was it me or you?
Nah, it was both of us, man.
It was both of us. So anyway, welcome back to Monday Night Football. Big thank you to Omar Hernandez for coming on. And you know what? I'd be remiss if I wasn't doing you know what? I kept it in check.
You did a good job.
Super interview. And once again, every time we bring, we had Taruri on last week, and man, these guys just shed such light on the I guess the community and what it means and coming up here. And really, like you young players, you guys that are like sophomores and freshmen, y'all need to be listening. If you have any, wanting to play at all at the next level, y'all need to be watching these interviews.
Yeah, because, it's, they've lived it, they breathed it, and now they've gone on and, being successful in what they do, either in collegiate level or at the pro level. Yeah. So it really is a good thing, but hey, let's get back into it. Now, we had some Soccer City Cup action last week. We did. Finally, Dalton and Northwest.
Which you know what? We can look at that as a 1v2 because that was number 1 in 4 versus number 2 in 3A. So that was technically a 1-2.
But I'm jumping ahead here. So we are going to talk about a little bit of Dalton and Northwest. But before that, you actually went and watched Southeast versus Dalton Academy a little bit.
I did. I went to that game.
And I think this game didn't have the luster it's had as past years, right?
Well, true, it didn't. But it's like it is what it is. Talents vary widely at the high school level on the most part. Like Dalton High and the run that Southeast has seen and the run that Northwest has seen, those are anomalies. They don't exist regularly. Like a lot of times you see high schools up and down, and that's what we're seeing at Dalton Academy, and that's what we've seen a little bit at Southeast. Southeast looks to have hit their stride.
They're 10-4.
Yeah, they won 9-0.
They won 6 in a row. They're 10-4, 4-3.
And I think they're ranked. I think they're ranked 17 in the state in 3. Look, they're still playoffs. Yeah. There's not, we'll see what happens. They may have to hit the road against a tough team, but that opportunity is going to be there for them.
And it looks like we had Jonah Garcia and Joseph Pena score, which I know you.
Well, they didn't. Well, they did score. Well,
yeah, Jonah scored.
Jonah scored. John should have scored, but he didn't make it happen. But I got to catch up with him in an interview. So we want to go with that now?
No, we'll go with that at the end of the segment.
At the end of the segment.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then also looks like you got some time with Fally, Maya, and Leanne. It looks like.
So basically what happened was I saw them sitting on the bench and took advantage of the situation, and they were kind enough to give me an interview. They had a tough game versus Stars Mill. We know Maya's been out. She's been missed some games due to injury. They lost 1-0 to Stars Mill. That's a team that I'm sorry, but
it's a good team.
Laid it on them pretty good last year.
And
so to only lose 1-0, that was a respectable result.
And with that, we're going to transition to the Northwest Dalton Soccer City Cup standings game, which this had a lot of implications. Dalton girls were invested in this game.
Yeah.
Boys were as well. A little tighter on the boys' side than you expected, but I did call it. I said it was going to be tight the first half, and then I think Dalton start pulling away a little bit in the second half, but it took them a little bit. But on the girls' side, it was one of those back-and-forth games.
It was actually reminiscent of the game earlier in the season, right? Where, basically Dalton turned it on and pulled away from them in preseason, and they tried to this time, but Northwest hung in there with a 4-3. And, that was actually kind of a top-ranked match, too. That was Northwest at number 10 in 3A and Dalton girls at number 7 in 4A. So that was technically a top 10 matchup there, and it's pretty much what we expected.
Yeah, and then we had Londra Manzana, who
no, that's
we're going to butcher the last name, but we do have
one of us is going to butcher it.
She scored a brace game winner. We were able to get an interview with her, which we will show here at the end of this episode, the end of the segment. And then we also got an interview with Ashley Estrada, who has just committed to Reinhardt. She talks about her commitment process and why she committed to Reinhardt and what she's looking forward to. So that'll be at the end of the segment. But then let's just transition over to the boys a little bit. Northwest still, their record is not bad at all.
No,
this is a top-ranked team in the state, and I sent you a picture of the homestands, Todd. I don't know what else to say about this.
Look. Here's the thing: the Northwest soccer, boys and girls, performance-wise, y'all can't do anything else to put people in the stands. That's on everybody else. Okay, to recognize what kind of program is being run up there. A top-notch program, both in the top 10 in the state. The boys coming in at number 2. So you guys are getting the job done. I was with you. I thought it was going to be a close game. Northwest is stingy. Chris Tapia running that midfield. You're not going to run through there. That's not going to happen. And but Dalton got it done. Chappies played, and we were kind of wondering whether he was going to get out there or not. He's been,
I did talk to him as they were warming up. I looked out and said, "Hey, are you good? Is the feet okay?" He's like, "Yes, we're good to go." So, but the thing is, I think the big factor here for the Northwest boys is, on the boys and the girls, it's the coach. Isa Gutierrez does a hell of a job with what he has.
I'm not sure you can say that.
You can.
Yeah.
They say
okay.
So
I'm getting thumbs up from production.
So, but he does the job that he does just get his teams prepared.
Yeah, he does a great job.
You look at him, the way he sets it up on the boys, the girls.
I think his club coaching ties into that. I think his experience.
Yes, so. But he does the job, and he prepared them well, so they did it, really good. We'll put up the graphic here in a bit on the next segment of Soccer City standings and everything. But we're getting ready to go to commercial break. But when we do, before commercial break, we're going to see the interview with Alondra, the score of the game winner, and Ashley Estrada. And then coming back from commercial break, we're going to have the interviews with Joan Garcia and Joseph Peña, and then the Fally, Maya, and Leanne interview. All right, welcome back to Monday Night Football. Here we are after Dalton beating Northwest 4-3. I'm here with Alondra Manzano, who scored a brace and also the game winner. Alondra, so just talk about the game. Obviously, it was big implications with the Soccer City Cup on the line as well. So just walk us through the game. It was back and forth, and just give us your analysis of how you saw the game.
It was pretty competitive. I feel like we had most of the ball on our side, and we were scoring a lot, trying to score. We had the possession, but I feel like we need to we know we were the better, but I feel like our confidence had to be higher.
Okay. And how did it feel scoring the game winner? Obviously, you scored one earlier in the game, and I heard you say someone at halftime, "Hey, I scored a goal." I think it was a family, but then you scored the game winner. How did that feel?
It was great. I haven't scored all season, and I scored 2 in this game, so it
It was great.
And with the win, it puts you on top of the Soccer City Cup standings with one game left versus Southeast. So how do you feel about going into that final game, which will be played next Thursday?
It's gonna be very exciting. Hopefully we get the win.
All right. Thank you very much, and good luck in the rest of the week.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to Monday Night Football. And here we are with Ashley Estrada. Ashley, I just had a hard-fought win over Northwest, 4-3. Put you on top of the Soccer City Standing Cups. But let's talk about something. You had some news come out this week. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
What was that news that was out on social media yesterday?
I just recently signed to Reinhardt University in a high school in Milwaukee, Georgia. So that's exciting news for me.
So how does that feel to finally get that out of the way and to allow you to focus on the rest of your season?
The pressure is definitely off my shoulders. Like, for a second, I wasn't planning on committing anywhere. I was just going to go to school, like, somewhere else in Atlanta just for, like, my academics. But then the opportunity came up to me, and I reached out to Coach Alejandro, and I told him officially that I wanted to commit with him because he's been following me step by step, and he's been guiding me. So I think, like, that played a big role in my, like, choice of commitment. And he really just, like, made a really good impression, like, of himself. Because, like, he's a really good coach overall, and it seems like he really cares about his players.
Okay. All right. With that commitment out of the way, you've got a few more games. So what are you looking forward to doing the rest of this season before the playoffs start?
I'm hoping that we, like, keep going at it. We keep getting stronger day by day. We take training super seriously. Now that we're coming up to state and we're ending our season off soon, and for us seniors leaving this year, it's really sad. But I really hope we, like, end it off on caps and state and hopefully get into the state finals. Like something we've never done before. So I'm excited about this season and what the rest of the season has to offer for us.
All right, well, thank you, and congratulations on your commitment to Reinhardt University.
Thank you.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Juba with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Biltwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I am here at Southeast game and ran into three players from the Lady Southeast Raiders. And I'm joined with Fally, Maya, and Leanne, who are innocently sitting here when I called them for an interview. Let's just go ahead and start. Fally, let's just talk to you first. Tomorrow you guys got Stars Mill. How are you guys feeling about going to the game tomorrow? A Saturday game, a little bit weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really tough opponent. We played them last year, right?
Yeah.
We lost pretty bad. Pretty bad. It was really bad. And, I mean, we just have to play with confidence. They're a good team. They have some really good players that are all committed. We are going to be missing a couple players tomorrow, so that's my main concern. But if we play hard, hopefully it's not a bad game, and we give them some competition.
Maya, you've been out the past 3 or 4 games with an injury. Tomorrow you'll be coming back for the first time. How are you feeling? Are you excited to be coming back into the team?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been hard sitting and watching, not being able to help out my team. But I'm definitely going to go out on the field and give 100% and just try to motivate my teammates to do the same thing.
And Leanne, you've been on the back line, defender. You've been tough back there all year. Going into tomorrow, I mean, what's your go-to to motivate your back line and to get them to work hard?
Probably just to talk a lot and just stay positive the whole time and not
get in our heads.
All right. Well, good luck the rest of the season, and we'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm joined by Joseph Pena and John Garcia of Southeast. You guys just won 9-0 over Dalton Academy. Big win tonight. You guys looked loose, scored a bunch of goals. Joseph, you started out early in the season, got some hamstring injuries. What you guys are unbeaten in your last 6 games. How are you feeling going toward the playoffs in Dalton next week?
I'm pretty excited to go to playoffs. I know we started off really bad. I couldn't play because of my hamstring injury. Thank God that I got to play 7 games right now that I'm playing. But yeah, hopefully we can continue this streak of winning. And yeah.
And John, that back line, you guys pitched a shutout tonight. How was the game from your perspective?
It was good. I mean, we still had a lot of missed opportunities, but we learned from our mistakes.
And, of course, I can't go without saying you guys got a big game next week. Obviously finishing out the season, the finale versus Dalton. You guys looking forward to that? I mean, you guys played a close game last time. So how are you guys looking to improve moving forward? John, we'll start with you.
I'm excited because of that game, we made a few tweaks. And I feel like that's going to help us out.
All right. Joseph?
Yeah, basically what he just said, our mistakes after I missed that pen,
Yep.
But we got to learn from it, and hopefully we could win at Harmony Field.
All right. Well, guys, thank you. So congratulations on the win. Thanks for taking some time with us, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And Todd, there was the interviews that you got with John Garcia and Joseph Pena, Fally. They're all those three right there. Those 3 right there are characters.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like, I didn't think I was going to get an interview with them, and they basically just coaxed Fally into coming over there, and she fell for it, and so I got all 3 of them. So it went well. Thank you, girls, so much for the interview.
The good thing is looking at them interviewing, like you can see their progression from when they interviewed as a freshman and sophomore to now.
That always
they're a little more seasoned.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, Alondra was very nervous in her interview, but then you look at Ashley. Ashley, being the senior, she just took it in stride. So it's very interesting to see these people. Because they freeze up. Even last week when you had Churrillo on another show, like he was like sweating bullets over here. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, were that intimidating? Like, no, I don't feel like we give off those vibes. I think
people just get a little intimidated. But with that, let's go ahead and go into the Soccer City standings, Todd. So as we're looking at these standings, you got Dalton High up on the boys' side with 3 points. Northwest sitting at 3, Southeast at 2, Cahulla at 1. And then on the girls' side, you've got Dalton High, which is up with 3. They got this game with Southeast. Northwest is sitting at 3 and Southeast sitting at 3. The biggest question is, how are you going to do this Northwest or Dalton Cahulla Creek score? Because I've been asked all over.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the number of points accumulated, divide it by the number of games played, and that's going to give us an average points per game. But pretty much that's the best way to take advantage of that. But the way if Dalton wins in El Clasico this week, then it's probably going to be done unless Northwest somehow beats Cahulla Creek it'll take multiple goals, and then there's the head-to-head factor. So this is Dalton's going into this final week here to take care of business.
And what if Southeast pulls the upset and then Cahulla beats Northwest?
Here's what I want Juan to stop doing. Juan needs to stop coming up with these things for me to figure out in my head and just let the games play out and we'll figure it out.
I'm just saying, look,
I know what you're saying.
If it happens, and then right there, pretty much Dalton, they just need a win. Even if they go into peak.
Hey, this is the way it happened for the Fort Mountain Cup a few years ago. There's just a scenario that I needed to happen to avoid a lot, and that's basically what we got
And on the Dalton girls, all they need to do is win.
Yeah, they're still in the driver's seat.
Even if they win in PKs
or a draw.
Well, no draw because still got to go to PKs.
Well, that's right because we can't have a draw.
You can't have a draw, so they won't go to extra time. They'll just go because it's not a region game. It'll just go straight.
Remember the way we have it lined up. You get 1 point for a draw. At the end of regulation, you get a point.
And then a point for the win.
And then a point if you win on PKs. So that's 2 possible points, and then 3 points for the full win. So, but yeah, all that is still in play, and I'm sure there's some wild scenarios out there that Juan can think of for me to figure out. I'd rather not.
I will think about them. But, hey, really quick, let's just look at some score lines from last week. we're pivoting here a little bit, guys. So just bear with us because we don't have Diego here to help us out.
Yeah, I know. He's in a very important meeting at Dalton State College.
But no, well, here, let's pivot to the region schedule. So let's look at it right now. I have Christian Heritage sitting in 6th place, both boys and girls. So I don't know how that's going to pan out for them. They may squeak in if they win this week. You have Coahulla Creek girls who are pretty much in with a 2 seed. You got Coahulla Creek boys sitting in at the 1 seed at 6-1. We discussed Dalton High girls. They're the number 2 seed. The Southeast girls have the 3 seed. Dalton sitting at the 1 seed for the boys in region. Southeast actually has the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
Even though they have a 4-3 record, but it was between them, Cass, and Cedartown. They all beat each other, so it went with goal differential, and I think Southeast somehow did that. Murray County, you said you're looking at seeing them in. Murray County's sitting at 3-3 on both boys and girls at 6th place. 2 big region games this week.
Well, I mean, they're just absolutely must wins. They win those games, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go
playing
through.
the Fort Mountain Cup tomorrow, and then they got, I think, Sonoraville at the end of the week. So 2 big region games right there. And then, obviously, we already stated Northwest Whitfield girls undefeated in region 6-0 with the 1 seed.
Ranked number 7 in the state.
Yeah, and then the boys.
Did I say 7?
And then the boys are 11-2.
They're 10. Sorry, they're 10 in the state.
5-1. They're in 2nd place in the region because Calhoun has that.
But somehow, ranked number 2. And
Calhoun beat them.
Let me see if while you're going on, let me see if I can flip right over to the 3A and see where Calhoun is ranked in there.
And then you have and then let's just really quick, Southeast girls are 9-5, 5-2 in region 3rd, and then Southeast boys actually double-digit wins, 10-4, 4-3, 3rd. Dalton Academy girls 0-12-1, so they have a tie there in 8th, and then the boys are sitting in 3rd in region with a 4-2 record. And you're looking at
I'm trying to look and see where Calhoun is ranked. Calhoun is 3A, correct?
3A, yes.
All right,
3A.
Well,
we got 40 seconds here, sir. So there's Northwest sitting at number 2.
Yeah. So I don't see Calhoun anywhere here.
Oh,
23.
But
wow.
They're the 1 seed. Why?
Wow.
I guess after the Tino Martinez, the kids got over Tino going.
That tells you what an upset that was. Yeah. That Northwest is still ranked number 2 and Calhoun is ranked 23, and they're 1 and 2 in seeding. So,
but with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to go recap the big games that are happening this week. So stay tuned to the last episode.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service. We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh, yes, you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Hey, welcome back to the last segment of Monday Night Football. Once again, big thank you to Elliott Media, Matt Gadsden, Community Center, and all of our sponsors. We thank you for your support. And let's go to the OptiLink schedule for the week, Juan.
Yeah, so this is the last week, regular season week before the playoffs start. So we have quite a few games on Tuesday.
Big games.
We have Soccer City Cup, Northwest versus Coahulla Creek. We have the Fort Mountain Cup, Murray County versus North Murray. We have the Battle of Mill Creek, Dalton Academy versus Christian Heritage.
Man, this is a big week. We're going to spread out.
I don't know if this, but when I went on Max Preps, it did say Dalton was playing Pebblebrook.
I saw that too.
Pebblebrook, so I'm there. Southeast versus Rome. Todd, what you got for us on Thursday?
We got Murray County versus North Cobb. We got Christian Heritage versus Armucci, or Armurchie, if you like. Coahulla Creek at Dalton Academy. North Murray at Gilmer. Dalton at Southeast. El Clasico Thursday.
And then on Friday, you have Northwest versus Northside. Girls, now there's on the schedule, it says Northwest versus Rome, but also on Max Preps, it says Northwest versus Northside. So I'm assuming it's going to be Northside, so we'll see. And then you got Cahulla Creek versus Norville.
And just in case you were wondering, Pebblebrook, if that game goes down with Dalton, Pebblebrook is ranked number 9 in 6A.
At 12-2. So
I mean, that's
really quick.
That's a game right there.
So
what day is that?
That is on Tuesday, tomorrow.
And then they got El Clasico on Thursday?
Thursday, yes.
That's some scheduling. All right. Well,
so what are the big games? I mean, on Tuesday we got big battles. We got
Creek and Northwest. That is strictly Soccer City Cup. That's not going to have any sort of region impact. That's just good north end of the county battle right there.
And then you have the Fort Mountain Cup, which we will be.
We'll be covering that. Holders, Murray for both girls and boys.
And then you got the Battle of Mill Creek.
Not the luster that it has been in the previous couple of years, but still, a battle's a battle.
And like I said, you said Dalton number 1 in 4A versus number 9 Pebble Creek, so that's going to be interesting.
In 6A, yeah.
6A. And then really, there's some great games. You have the El Clasico, which will be pretty much really wrapping up Soccer City Cup standings, and we will.
Yeah, I tell you, El Clasico is going to be good this week. I think we got. Southeast is rounding into good form. The girls are in good form. They look like they're getting healthy. So I think those are going to be really good games.
All right, so everyone, please.
Weather should be great.
Yes, please go out and support all your local teams. And that we will see you all next week.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality, and that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some of us gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. That's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
To advertise your business on TV, contact Elliott Media at 706-529-4237.